Hey guys, this is Alicia with LBCC Historical, and so this is a brand new thing. I'm really excited about it, and what we're going to do is we're going to start this brand new video series where we're going to occasionally pop on and go through our extensive library of original books and original recipes and such, and talk to you a bit about them, because we figured we have such a massive collection that, you know, really unless we're looking at them, all they're doing is sitting on the shelf. And so why don't we talk to you guys about it, read some out of the books for you, and maybe we can all learn a little bit along the way, because some of these recipes we will never use. So we'll talk everything from home, domestic, anything from, you know, apothecaries, probably some cosmetic stuff, and we'll just read stuff in the books. We'll explain to you what they are to make them a little bit easier, because some of the way the words are formed and such is a little difficult to understand when you're just reading it. And then, if at possible, we'll give you guys like updated recipes. So today we're going to start with our first, and it's going to be a look at liqueurs and cordials. And this comes from an encyclopedia of receipts from 1872. And if you guys have questions, feel free to ask. We are in the cordials and liqueurs section today. And so we're going to learn what a cordial is. And I'm going to read it, and then I'm going to explain it a little bit better. So a cordial or liqueur. The materials employed in the preparation of cordials are rain or distilled water, white sugar, and clean, preferably flavorless spirit. To these you will add substances from which the flavor and aroma are to be extracted. So what they're talking about now is that in order to make cordials or liqueurs, and not all of them are do have alcohol in. For example, elderflowers, the elderflower cordials don't have alcohol in. What they're talking about here is that I would not use rainwater. I would use distilled water, white sugar, and their perfectly flavorless spirit would then be vodka. So those are the three things you want, and then you are going to need to add substances from which you pull the flavor. And those can be anything from fruits, oils, herbs, all sorts of stuff. So now they're going to say that the cordial to be made as artificial articles employs, such as finings. And finings are used in home brewery. That's when, if you were in an apothecary or you were in a brewery, and it was your business, you would want the cordial to be very clear. So you would add, in the end, you would add a substance. A lot of natural things, like you can even add eggs. There was a couple other things like English, Irish moss, and you can get a really clear finished product, and they would take out some of the sulfates. So that's basically what finings are. And when artificial clarification is had to recourse to. In preparation or compounding of cordials, one of the first objects which engages the operator's attention is the production of an alcoholic solution of the aromatic principles, which are to give them a particular aroma and flavor. See number 812. This is done either by simple infusion and maceration. So we're going to have videos on infusions and extractions. And maceration is when you take your herb and you macerate it, you pulverize it. Or maceration and subsequent distillation. And we all know what distillation is. We've done that before. We're going to also do some distilling of rose petals coming up, so we'll keep you guys posted on that. Or by flavoring spirits with essential oils. In the preparation of liqueurs, glycerin has said to be found to be admirably adept at preserving the characteristic flavors of those compounds, and has consequently become of great favorite in the class of manufacturers. And a lot of times there's glycerin used in a lot of products. We have some vegetable glycerin products in our apothecary as well. So number 768, cordials made with maceration or essential oils. When essential oils are employed to convey the flavor, they are first dissolved in a little of the strongest rectified spirits of wine, and then added to the spirit. They are mixed up with the whole mass as rapidly, as perfectly as possible by laborious and long continued agitation. The stronger spirit may be reduced to the desired strength by means of soft, clear water, or the clarified syrup used for sweetening. And clarified syrup is just sugar syrup. The sugar employed should be of the finest quality and is preferably made into syrup before adding it to the aromatic spirit. and this should not be added until the later has been rendered perfectly fine by filtering or fining. And that's all it means, rendered fine, fining, pulling out the stuff, the icky, so you can get a really nice, clear end product. Oh, it's Patsy Cline. I love Patsy Cline. So let's see, where are we? So it's preferably made to serve before adding the aromatic spirits, and it should not be added until later has been rendered perfectly fine by filtering or fining. Some spirits, like aniseed, should frequently require the treatment, which is best performed by running them through a fine and clean filter, having previously mixed them with a spoonful or two of magnesia. And basically, mixing them with magnesia, especially when you're working with certain oils or certain herbs, is for preserving the flavor. And we'll talk about that more in our extracts video when we get there. A good manufacture of cordial is thus made will be perfectly clear and transparent. But should this not be the case, as they may be found with the whites of about 12 to 30 eggs to the hogshead, or by adding a little alum, either alone or followed or dissolved by a little bit of carbonate of soda, both dissolved in water. In a week and a fortnight, the liquor will be made clear. Okay, so the first recipe that they give you guys is for making a caraway cordial, which I don't know if that sounds very appetizing to me, but we'll just go with it. So 769, you're going to dissolve separately each a little 95% alcohol, 1/2 dram oil of anise, 5 drops each of oil of calamus, bitter almonds, and coriander. Dissolve also 1 to 1.5 ounces of caraway in sufficient alcohol, 95%, to make a clear solution. Incorporate these with 40 gallons of French proof spirit and add 10 pounds of sugar dissolved in 5 gallons of water. So now we said not all of them are alcoholic, and this is a really good example. So in 1778, we have this in the shop. It's for enlivening morning wash for the face, and I really enjoyed this recipe because it said that because you generally make such a big batch of this, you can add some sugar and you can make a cordial out of it. And because this has elderflower in, some cordials, like elderflower cordials, don't have alcohol in. And so I thought what we would do to kind of clear everything up for you guys is we would give you a homemade elderflower cordial recipe from Jamie Oliver. And so if you guys wanted to try this at home, this would be a really easy one to start with, and then you can kind of delve into the historical recipes. So this one you need 15 heads of elderflower, fresh, 500 grams of castor sugar, 4 tablespoons of honey, and this is how you're actually preserving it, because when you don't have alcohol in it, or you're not distilling it with the alcohol, it's not going to last very long. Years and years ago, I tried this once. I made an elderflower cordial. I think I made a couple other ones too, and I didn't put any honey in. I just had the sugar water, and it didn't last very long. It grew stuff pretty quickly. So make sure you have your honey in, because that's going to help preserve it. And then you need 2 unwaxed lemons. So he says, wash the elderflower, picking off any bugs. Place the sugar and honey in a large saucepan with 1 liter of water. Gently bring to a boil until all the sugar has dissolved, and then remove from the heat. Finally grate the lemon zest in and add the elderflower upside down, making sure the flowers are completely submerged. Squeeze the juices from one of the lemons and slice the other, add it to the pan. Pop the lid on and leave it to infuse for 24 hours. Once that is finished, then you're ready to strain your cordial. Line a fine sieve with muslin over a large bowl. If you don't have muslin, you can use a good kitchen towel. Pour into your sieve and store in sterilized bottles or jars. Drink diluted with water or soda. And so that might be something fun for you guys to try. Cordials historically were very popular. They had all different sorts of ones to choose from. And let's see if I can just find one that actually looks good. So a lot of these had aniseed in. Here's blackberry brandy. Blackberry brandy is a good one from 1872. Okay, 782, blackberry brandy. To 10 gallons blackberry juice, add 25 gallons spirits, 40 above proof, add 1 dram of oil of cloves, of cinnamon dissolved in 95% alcohol, and 12 pounds of white sugar. Dissolve in 6 gallons of water. Dissolve the oil separately in 1/2 pint, 95% alcohol. Mix both together and use 1/2 the quantity of the cordial. Is not sufficiently flavored. You can use that to balance it, to make it sweeter or to add more of the juice. So I think that is about it for today. If you guys have any questions, I'll answer them. We want to keep these videos really short for you so you can just kind of watch them on the go. We will post this to our YouTube page, and we're gonna go through the whole library, so you never know what we're gonna get. So randomly, we may just show up. And so, Patrick, can I bother you for just a second?
Yeah.
We're also working in the background, so if you guys hear that, we're busy at work. Okay, so there's a few questions. I don't know if you can read them for me. I don't have my phone hooked up.
There's a high. And how much is a dram?
How much is a dram? That is a really good question. Let's go to our handy dandy sheet here. Actually, I was looking through this one, and this one actually had, now sometimes measurements depending on the time period or region are a little different, so you can't always just assume that, you know, a dram always equals this. Let me just quick take a look to see if they have it here. I'm always, even after all these years, I'm always still looking up and converting, referencing things. So, grains is not going to help you guys. Let's see if they have a different one.
Any drams per ounce?
Yeah. I think I have it written on here. Okay, so 1 fluid dram. Okay, so 8 fluid drams equals 1 fluid ounce. So 4 fluid drams would equal 1/2 of an ounce, and then you can go down from there. So it's not very much. And we have another question. I wish I had my thing to work. Can you not read it?
What's in the big jar?
This, in the big jar, is our Gypsy Astringent, which actually, oh look, Patrick, you can totally see your head. That's really funny. Which you can actually see how it works. Let me turn this volume off. Okay, so yeah, it's Gypsy Astringent. I should have shown you guys like what happens with good Gypsy Astringent, but we'll show you guys in another. We'll show you guys another time because I took it off. But they actually grow mothers, and this mother was like the thickest mother I have ever seen. Hey, Elena.
Oh.
Okay, so.
You shouldn't be alarmed if there's forms of mother.
Yeah, and yours may form mothers too. It's just a sign of healthy vinegar, healthy natural vinegar, and with the herbs and such. So, okay. Yes, we have a lot more interesting topics, and because this is our first one, we'll get the kinks like ironed out for you guys, and I'll have the phone ready to go so we can answer questions. And other than that, I think that's it.
We plan on doing a lab tour.
And we do plan on doing a lab tour, you guys. So we were building cabinets yet last night. So as soon as everything kind of gets under control, we'll definitely give you guys a lab tour. But other than that, thanks for joining us, and I hope you guys enjoy this series. Give us some hearts, give us some likes. Facebook likes that, we like that. If you haven't subscribed or become fans of our business page, please do so. And other than that, thanks guys. Have a great day.